Good afternoon and welcome to your weekly current affairs program. It promises to be exciting every week, and this week will not be an exception because we will be discussing a topical issue that has relevance to you and I, that has relevance to every Nigerian, and of course the impact, expected impact on Nigerians. My name is Erosa Agbonlao. We'll be looking at the policies of President Bola Tinubu and the recent launching of the cash transfer to 15 million households. That's the reason I told you that this topic is very, very crucial. Everyone is interested because you may be the one that will benefit the 25,000 naira. I may be the one, but the government has its own criteria of determining who gets what. My guest will also dissect that. I have in the studio a man who has made a mark in terms of political analysis. He's also president of a pressure group, United in Democracy. He's a communication expert and consultant. We're talking about a man who has international experience as well, an ambassador of peace, Andrew Eigalua, popularly known as Tigana. Nice to have you on the show today. Your fans always want to hear that word, Tigala. So some of us know the meaning of that Tigala, but I will not disclose that here because that's not the platform for that to be discussed. So, yes, this president is always in the news. He's always in the news because the welfare of Nigerians has deteriorated. A lot has happened, and what some persons will say, that which broke the camel's back was the removal of the petrol subsidy. Nigerians have never had it so bad. Some persons find it difficult now to drive their vehicles. Some persons find it difficult to go to work. The government at the time needed to reduce working hours because of this same policy of the removal of petrol subsidy. But this government must be commended because they never went to sleep. They kept promising Nigerians will do this, will do that, will do that, will bring in vehicles, CNG vehicles, will bring in CNG kits, 50 million, that million, we'll do that, we'll make sure that we're cushion the effect of this removal of the petrol subsidy. A lot. In short, the media space is awash with promises of President Bola Tinubu. But like I said, my guests will do the talking, and we're going to allow you out there to also contribute to the program via telephone. Later we'll display the phone number. You can call in, but no derogatory statement will be allowed. In other words, what I meant by that is that you don't insult anybody, you don't mention names, you just make points, you just contribute to a better society. So, Andrew Eigalua, now let's just start with this transfer of 25,000 naira to, some people call it the poorest of the poor. You know, this policy was just launched a few days ago. Do you think it's in the right direction?
Well, to me, for the benefit of the public, we have to define the term policy.
Okay.
Policy is a set of rules and regulations that is promulgated by government organizations on how to tackle the problem bedeviling that organization or government to be able to achieve its set goals. But in doing that, it depends on the kind of policy you are promulgating. If it will benefit the citizens or the members of that organization. Now, the federal government, they just said they are going to give 25,000 each to every household.
Yes, every household.
And I asked myself, what are the criteria for distributing this cash? Because you and I know that Nigeria is not like the Western world where everybody is programmed. Your house address, where you work, everything is online to be able to locate you. But though you are on it, but yes, it has not been standardized. So I think in doing that, the government should bring that a solid criteria, because when you talk about the masses, we're talking about the downtrodden. These are the people such benefit, palliative, are made for. But how do you get them to give them this money? When you talk about the masses, maybe the roadside corn seller, the plantain seller and all that, that are not captured in the system of how things work. So how do you get to these people? So I feel most times when this palliative comes on air, it is a palliative for political parties to come and benefit, members of political parties, especially the party in power. I don't want to mention any name now. Yeah. There's a palliative that is going on right now. And the criteria with which are distributed, they are saying, go to one leader's house. They're talking to members now. Go to one leader's house and drop your name and address. So,
but that is different from
this one now.
This one, okay.
The palliative.
You're just giving an example.
Go to this leader's house and drop your name so that you will be included in this palliative that is being distributed. Is everybody a politician? No.
Okay.
So I asked myself, okay, what of those that don't belong to any political party? How do they reach these people? In such situation, I think a committee should be set up for this downtrodden, the market sellers, the corn sellers. These are the people that need this cash. For those that are already in government, that are already working in the system that has been captured, you can just insert into their salary every month without they knowing. If it's 6 months, they will just get it. After 6 months, it closes. But the real beneficiaries that needs this palliative, how do you get in touch with them? That is the big question. So the government should set up machinery so that the average Nigeria will feel the impact of governance, feel the impact of this harsh economy we are passing through right now, because it's not easy. An average Nigeria cannot feed very well right now. I was driving down to your studio. There was no traffic. It shows that people can't afford fuel. They've parked their vehicle. If you go to any mechanic workshop now, they will tell you, we don't get job anymore because people are now used to taking commercial vehicles. Private vehicles don't come anymore. So you see how it is affecting the common man and even the middle class. So this 15 million, whatever they are going to do, they should let it get to the downtrodden and let the citizens feel the impact of government. Otherwise, you might not think what I'm thinking now. Nigerians are gradually being frustrated these days. Yesterday, I was with my wife. We were driving towards the Kema Road. At intervals, within 500 meters, you see fights. There was one body, they wore grey, along the Kema Road. This Toyota Yaris was trying to pass. The guy was dragging the vehicle. He jumped into the vehicle, and there was a married woman inside. I didn't know. I was just driving behind.
Behind them?
So I now stopped. What? Said he did not buy dustbin. I said, which one is dustbin? Said he's supposed to put dustbin inside his vehicle for trash.
Okay.
But is that enough for you to jump on this vehicle and be dragging the vehicle? By assuming you now fall and you die, or if you don't die, maybe you are being, you know, how do I put
it? Even a traffic crash
in front of the police. I just sent to the police post. Police people, you're looking at it. That aside, in the evening I was still driving around at Kwakwa. I saw somebody holding a cutlass, just cutting somebody. What is going on in Nigeria? Everybody is hyper. But I still attribute it to the hardship of the economy. I think I have to stop there.
Yeah, thank you very much, Andre Alua, for your opening remarks. We are looking at the policies of President Ahmed Bola Tinubu and, of course, the recently launched transfer of cash, of funds to vulnerable Nigerians, and they are targeting 15 million households. But the question, like he has just said, how do you determine who is the poorest in the society? Or like they put it, who is the poorest amongst the poor? Well, the federal government has also informed members of the public that they have their own criteria where spelled out. They'll be looking at issues of biometrics. Don't forget that BVN is there. So they have their own strategies to determine who gets what. During the launching, some persons actually got dummy checks of 25 million naira, and well, the face don't lie. But if you look at the facial or the appearance of the persons who got the dummy check displayed on air, you don't need to be told that these are very poor people. But like I said, sometimes appearance can be deceptive, but from what we see, you will know that these people look like poor people, you know. So there are poor Nigerians there. There will always be the poor amongst you. That's the scriptural quotation there. You know, the poor are always there. But it is not the desire of anyone to be poor. But the situation in Nigeria now is very appalling, very pathetic, very disheartening, and one that seems to aggravate the blood pressure of so many. Like Andre Gallo has just said, we've had the opportunity of sending reporters to the field to determine the price index of food items in our markets. You won't believe it. The kind of hike in the price of food items, they begin to wonder, a family of 4, a family of 5, a family of 6, and a family of 8, how do they cope? How do they feed? Now, even the so-called elites are not spared. And that's one question that some persons are saying, how do you really determine who is poor now? Because a man that has a car and decides to park his car and use public transport, and you say he's not a poor man? Andre Galoa, is that not a poor man?
It's a stage. It's a category.
Okay, being poor is in stages. It's as bad as that in Nigeria now. That being poor is in stages.
Because, like you said, yes, at least ordinarily, if you've been able to own a car,
yes, you are supposed to be
a semi-big.
Yes.
Now it has reduced to this level that you've parked your car. You are not you are not a poor man. You cannot afford the maintenance of that car. So you've reduced yourself to a poor man, like every other poor person that has not had a car before. And it is the economy that is biting hard. And the situation is pathetic. In fact, I don't just know how to, to advise the government and things. But I still have to give kudos to the Edo State governor, because they've been there, the governor has been there for its citizens and trying to cushion the effect of this hardship, like doling out free public transportation, and creating jobs and all that, and infrastructural projects. I think Edo State, though it's still biting hard, but the governor is always alert to its citizens. No, it's not trying to leave any stone unturned, not to make sure the Edo lights are a little bit cushioned. That is another good thing about the governor. But in reality, like you said, a family of 8, including the parents,
yes,
10. Averagely, a day, they must use minimum of 2,000 if it's too small, a day. I'm not saying per meal. I'm just trying to reduce it to the barest.
I think it's more than that.
I said I'm trying to reduce it to the barest. Okay. A day, 2,000, then times it by 30.
You're looking at 60,000.
For feeding, not transportation, not house rent, not light bill and all that. And maybe the man is a cab driver. Tell me, how are you going to cope? And maybe somewhere along the line, children must fall sick and all that, take them to the hospital and all that. So you find that an average home, there's always tension these days. There's tension, and we understand why. Unlike those days where things were, a little bit okay. And I keep telling Nigerians, at times when we are enjoying, we will be complaining until we see the other side of it. When Jonathan was there, we were kind of okay, but people were still complaining. But today, can they say anything? They've embraced hardship. they've embraced hardship. And I pray God should touch this regime, touch their heart and see how they can reduce this hardship, because the hardship starts from fuel increment.
That's the basic problem.
Fuel increment.
It appears the Nigerian economy is just built around
fuel.
Petrol. Anything, any slight adjustment to petrol, it triggers
other sectors.
Yes.
So that is an issue the government should look into. And with the way things are going, we still import fuel. And you look at the dollar rate now, it's getting higher and higher. So Nigerians should expect more increment in fuel, because in business, it is how you buy, you sell. If the importation of fuel is now $1,000 as against when they stopped this subsidy, when it was $600-700, you buy, I must increase my fuel. So Nigerians should expect more increment in this fuel issue until we have our own refinery, whereby we don't import anymore. Otherwise, more hardship awaits Nigeria.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you this question, because you are a well-traveled man. Looking at these policies of this government in terms of they're trying to promote free markets, allowing market forces to determine price. Basic economics, you allow demand and supply rule to determine prices and all of that. But some persons are saying that this government should not allow that. Because if you look at a dollar now, the rate of naira to a dollar, Nigerian naira has deteriorated.
Of course.
And that will affect even imports. Then there's a school of thought that is saying, no, this government should subsidize food, subsidize other products. If they say they are removing subsidy from petrol, no problem. But they should subsidize other things so that the prices of some items can come down. For instance, in the building sector, a bag of cement in Benin now is 6,000 naira. BOA announced that they reduced their cement, the price of cement of 50 kg, a bag, 50 kg, to 3,500. Now, ITV reporters went to town to investigate. And to their surprise, they couldn't even find any dealer selling BOA. The dealers kept giving excuses. So you don't find what, in other words, that 3.5 did not materialize. People still have to buy the other major marketers' product for 6,000 naira. That's the selling price in the store. Now, a bag of rice is about 60,000. But the good thing now is that the federal government has said, okay, some items now can be imported. So, don't you think that school of thought that is saying government should subsidize food, subsidize some other areas? Don't you think the government should listen to them?
You can, let me tell you how it works. It's economics. You can only subsidize some aspect of it if you are a producer of that product. You don't import. You don't clear from the wharf. You don't buy with foreign currency. They are all produced here. That's when you'll be talking about subsidizing some aspect, maybe like beans, groundnut, oil and all that. If it is being produced here, that means the cost of transportation and everything is not there. Those are the goods you can subsidize. What about other goods that have not been produced here, where you have to use foreign exchange to bring them here? After bringing in your product, you will sell and go back to the market to import. So how do you deal with such situation? So Nigeria market is not a market that is that free. We must import certain goods. And if you subsidize some aspect of these goods, say, okay, it is subsidized. What about the fuel with which people are going to buy that subsidized product from the north, like groundnut or beans? It will still be high. You understand? So the whole problem is like, I don't know how to put it. It's a question of demand more than supply. Okay. Then the price will definitely go high. The government should, look for the services of economists to be able to dissect and look at ways with which to reduce. Every day you can buy something in the market today, 100 naira. You come, that same product, they will tell you it's 200 naira. It's only in Nigeria such a thing takes place. I don't know why. You buy a product today, 10,000, that same product, you go there the next day. We are just, I don't know if it's government or...
No price control.
There's no price control. Exactly. Whether it's government or we are just trying to devalue our own currency by ourselves in an attempt to think we are smart, I don't know. Ordinary Cotonou here, our currency has devalued to surface. There are no match anymore. It used to be, Naira was more valuable than surface, but now you can't. You
remember the time the Ghanaians rushed to Nigeria? There was a time they said Ghana must go.
Yes.
Which is that bag now. People are still saying, so people don't know how that name.
That came
Ghana must go. That Ghanaians were in Nigeria because our currency was...
Has value.
Yes, was having a better value than their currency.
But now, all over the world, Naira is valueless. Naira only has value in Nigeria. But if you try to take it out outside the shores of this country, nothing. Within Africa country, it is that bad. So I don't know how they are going to tackle that aspect. And the way the thing is skyrocketing every day, sorry to say, this administration that just came in now, the way euro and dollar, they are skyrocketing is alarming. I don't know why. So the government should look into it, and if it continues like that, then they should expect our youth passing through River Niger. Yes, you won't blame them because they have
wanted to travel abroad.
Yes, that's the only option.
Yes, you sometimes you live outside Nigeria. Now you need to quickly comment on that. Maybe you just mentioned it because in Nigeria now it's called the Japa syndrome. Which is affecting even the academia, brain drain. Doctors are traveling outside, traveling overseas, paramedics, health workers, traveling overseas. Federal government recently also introduced a new policy that they will now engage the services of retired medical doctors, retired nurses to mitigate the gap because of this brain drain. I'm happy Andre Egalua just mentioned that, and we need to talk about it. Now, so many Nigerians, they want to travel. But we understand that even when they travel, it's not as easy as thought. Is that correct?
Of course, definitely. I will use Canada and UK as a case study. If you go to UK right now, the place is flooded with Nigerians. Some of them, I won't blame them though, because they feel traveling out is the best alternative. I will advise anybody that is about 40 shouldn't leave the shores of this country if you have a good job. Though Nigeria is not too good, but when you are above 40, I don't see any reason carrying your family, yourself, and your children, saying you want to go to another country and settle down. You're not going to settle down. Especially those that will sell their property, sell cars and everything. Most of them are stranded overseas. The other day I was reading from the social media. Some Nigerians, they now sleep in the cemetery in Canada. No house, no nothing. And I asked myself, look, why are the UK people capitalizing on our ignorance and, how do I put it, stupidity? They said they are making money from Nigerians. Because an average person to travel to UK, you spend about maybe 20 million Nigerian money, which is about 10,000 pounds. Before they'll give you the visa. No job, no nothing. You see them trooping into black churches, looking for food, looking for clothes to wear, looking for places to stay. And they will tell you they've got better jobs at home before, that there is this Japan syndrome, that they promise them jobs. Who would promise you a job when they've not seen you before? Apart from the maybe professionals that did their online test and all that, and they are waiting for them there. So an ordinary Japa person, you go to the street and start, unless you have parents or a close relative that will harbor you. Otherwise, it's not easy for Nigerians now. In Canada and in UK, they are all trooping to. So I would advise they should look very well and know how they Japa, so that they will not jeopardize their own future and the future of their children. Because in every life of every child, at a particular time, you are supposed to be in class. At times you see them 1 or 2 years, the children they've not started school.
That's overseas.
Overseas. Because no provision, no nothing. You have to pay school fee, you have to buy books, you have to look for shelter for these children. See them dragging the children up and down. You understand? I will tell you the truth. So they should investigate very well before they travel. I'm not saying anybody should not Japa or whatever, but they should investigate.
So I'm happy you really mentioned it, because we need to talk to our viewer, we need to talk to Nigerians about this Japa syndrome issue or development. So many Nigerians have really traveled. Some are still eager to travel. They want to leave Nigeria at all costs. But you need to look before you leap. It's a common adage. You need to look before you leap. And we have somebody that is well traveled, and as just told you, and we've seen some Nigerians on social media platforms advising Nigerians that if you are up to 40 and above, please remain at home. You know, salvage the situation at home. They are not saying don't travel, but they believe that from 40, if you are not a professional that is invited to maybe come to maybe get an instant job that will be kept for you or whatever, then you need to think of how you can survive within your country, that it is better compared to what you are about to face. We'll take a break now, and after this break, we will allow our viewer to contribute. Phoning will be allowed so that you can also make your impact. The authorities need to heed the call of the people, and I believe that your call will contribute to a better society. I'll see you after this break. Okay, it's always a delight to have you on the program, 60 Minutes Nigeria. I hope that you are enjoying your 60 minutes with us on the program, or if you just joined us, then you're about to enjoy part of your 60 minutes with us on the program. We are looking at the policies of President Ahmed Bola Tinubu and the recently launched transfer of funds to vulnerable Nigerians as part of strategies to mitigate the effect of the removal of petrol subsidy. Is it effective? But it's just been recently launched. Let's see how it will go down with Nigerians, because the welfare of Nigerians need to be improved. My guest, Andrew Eigalua, Ambassador of Peace, is saying, well, that these policies should be reviewed in the interest of Nigerians. In other words, the criteria should be well spelled out. Nigerians should benefit. Policies should be evolved just to improve the welfare of Nigerians. Because as we speak, so many Nigerians are below the poverty line. So many Nigerians are suffering. I'm just talking about the Japa syndrome, traveling abroad. And he's saying right now, the situation is better imagined. So many Nigerians are stranded in foreign countries. So look well before you leap. Don't just say, oh, I must leave Nigeria. I must leave Nigeria. Leave Nigeria to where? This is your fatherland. This is your motherland. This is where you were born. Let's all contribute to improving this society. Well, still talking about the policies of the president, we're going to allow our viewer to call in and make their contributions. Recently, the FCC chairman was appointed, and there was some kind of complaints and all of that. But the president said, that's my man for the FCC job. That's the secretary. And that has been confirmed. And Andre Galua, you said you just have something to say about that.
Yeah, you know, Nigeria right now, the major problem we have is corruption. It's like a cankerworm. And our former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, in his wisdom, established this EFCC.
Yes.
It's a body that is meant to tackle corruption. And you know about leadership. I've looked at this body critically. I strayed it. I discovered that the leadership of EFCC has always come from the north. I don't know if it's a policy. Right from Ribadu.
No, there must be federal character
in
everything.
What I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why I said I don't know if it's a policy that it must come from the north.
No, that's not the policy.
Yes.
Yes.
So, because I've
all Nigerians
are supposed to.
Yes, if you are qualified.
Be there. But if you extract the past leaders of that body, they are from the north. Right from Ribadu to Waziri to Magu, then Bawa. They are all northerners, core northerners. And I asked myself, in everything we do, we always have sentiments. If they are all northerners and you have to put ethnicity and religion into it, that organization cannot work effectively. Because some of our corrupt politicians, they are from the north. So if the leadership is a northerner like you speak your language, or we are both Muslims, or we are from the same place, you kind of reduce the penalty.
Okay. So it's not only from the north that there are corrupt people. There are corrupt people everywhere in Nigeria. It's the duty of the FCC, whether corrupt person from the south, corrupt person from the eastern part, it's the duty of the FCC to effect arrest and bring such a person to justice.
Yes, that's why I said,
yes,
I give kudos to this administration. They've tried to kind of change the narrative now. It has come to the southwest, which is a Yoruba man. And subsequently, they should still extend it to the southeast and even south-south to man that sensitive position.
Yes.
So that it will, give that sense of belonging to Nigerians. So it's not like one set of people owning the country.
Okay, thank you. We have our first caller now. Good afternoon. Yeah, please, your name and where are you calling from? Oh, thank you very much for being a part of the program. Please make your contribution.
I think the challenge we are facing right now didn't start today. And this is not the time to exonerate anybody.
Okay.
If you look at the Obasanjo administration, spent about $16 billion on power. Where's the power today? And you don't think that will be part of the accumulation that we're facing today? Ask a physician, he will tell you illness and sicknesses are accumulation of different sort that was not taken care of that become very sick. So I think that if you look at the discussion that you have brought forth, I just sent you a video now. I sent you two videos. One was this towing van people trying to force a man from not entering his car so that they already called for a backup so that towing van can come and tow the vehicle. So I took their picture and I told them that I'm taking their picture. I'm going to escalate the matter. Even though they insulted me at the end, they have to let the man go. Now, the second video is the one that has to do with the comrade bus that your girl talked about. I have said that even in Freetown, there's nothing that is free. But if you are fair and just, it will get to everybody. We have said, for example, in Bayelsa State, some states in the north, the state government has given additional 20,000, 25,000 naira because of transportation fare. And they have bought several buses to make life easy for them. So that's why we said that state governor, all we have said is about federal government. What are state government doing? What is state government doing? We heard about 3 months ago that the state government was going to be giving out 500 million every month. Where is that money now? Have they started? Are they going to start? When will they start? Now, we are starting hearing again now that they are going to buy buses. When will that bus come? Have they purchased that bus now? How long will it take for that bus to get to Benin or Edo State? Don't they have a timeline? Because at the end of the day, we don't talk about federal government. What are state government doing to ensure that they make life easy for their citizens? I just told you now, if you don't mind, can you take a stroll with me? Let's go to Lagos Street tomorrow. Let's go to Mission Road tomorrow and see what area boys are doing to market women. I'm glad your guests talking about how they are attacking vehicles. I tried my best to call 1 or 2 persons from local government to say that this harassment is too much. Somebody is afraid to park because they will come and harass him. There is no bus stop. There is no sign that this place is a toll zone. You harass people. Somebody stopped the other just to ask for a direction. He's passing through Benin City. He was arrested for people trying to ask questions. So at the end of the day, that one is not the issue that federal government can do. Lastly, your guest talked about the issue of we don't know. Nigeria is not productive. We do not have a manufacturing. company that we can say that is creating jobs. We do not stabilize the economy. We are not control prices. So in the midst of all this, why will the pressure not be on Naira? Because in Nigeria, do you know that there are some schools where you have to pay school fees in dollars? Who allowed that? Go to China, China will not allow it. You use their won or their yen, whatever you call it, in China. When you go out there, you can do anything you like. But in Nigeria, so people receive salary in dollars. So people receive allowances in dollars. You want to pay them, because will tell you pay it in dollars. Can't you tell them to pack it so that go? When you have this kind of pressure on our Naira, do you think our Naira will be stable? When we send unfinished product overseas, then we will also pay for it to bring the product back. If we continue like this, do you think the Naira will be stable? So these are some of the things that we need to look at. It's not that we don't know. But we have to get it done and ensure that we're not part of the problem is when Nigeria is at the standstill. Thank you, God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That was a very wonderful contribution from a Benin City resident. We have another caller now. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Please, your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Mr. Paul from Silokoro.
Okay, please make your contribution.
My contribution is here. I don't know where federal government and state government are not listening to the masses' demand. I think the masses demand federal government to repair our refinery.
Okay.
Then repair our roads. We are talking about roads. Then provide more railway to help cushion the transportation. If you go in abroad, some countries, the railway that is what is the transport so many goods. So it will make our roads, federal roads, to last longer. Then if you can, talking about the dollars issue, dollars rise because we don't produce, and some companies that is producing in Nigeria, they are living in Nigeria. They are supposed to look at all those, especially this refinery and company that can produce. Then can find to revive those companies. Not talking of 25,000. 25,000, when is it going to end? Is it 1 month? Is it 6 months? Is it forever? If you give somebody 25,000 at this point, within 3 months, he can't even remember, can't even praise the money that they say that he giving 25,000. That's gone. You don't eat and shit and come out. But when you put the money in the financials, when Nigerians are crying, they don't want to listen to our crying. They are talking about cushion the effect. Put our money in the financials, repair our roads so that those that struggle to produce some food in the villages, they will see access to bring it into town with the cheaper rate. You understand? Then
yes.
They cannot go into agriculture with all this money they are spending, giving, say want to give a palliative to, because this palliative must come from one of their party's members. Use money to put it to agriculture. We produce food enough. Nigeria has capacity to do that. So that's what I want to contribute. Thank you very much for your...
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, we must advise our viewer there. You have to be careful the kind of language you use. We don't like foul language because you are talking to, this is a mass media. Okay. The last caller just talked about the need for the federal government to invest in agriculture. That instead of giving money to people, invest the money, that is the total sum, which federal government has told us surely will amount to trillions. Just invest the money into certain sectors. Now in Benin City, Andre Galo, I don't know if you have observed, we have trucks now all over Benin City, what people call trailer. Trucks everywhere. And that put pressure on the roads. Some of the roads are not constructed to allow for truck movement, and they disturb the normal cars. But if you have rail lines, that will help in the transportation of cargo and maybe food from the north or wherever, instead of you having trailer or trucks all over the town, So that's a very big problem.
Yes, sir. I would say I'm disappointed in our government. Very disappointed. I feel like crying. when you see federal roads like this Benin Auchi road, how did it get to that extent where the road is that bad to an extent whereby it will be having like 10 feet deep on the ground? How? Are they playing politics with Nigerians? Because it's not a APC state. We will sabotage it. We won't do the roads. Even if you are flying with aeroplane, what of your brother, your brother's sister, your in-laws? Are they not flying the road? Go. I mean, you see trailers taking risk. Let me not just go too far about Western world. In Cotonou here, you can't see a road that is as bad as what we are experiencing in this Saple Road and what's it called?
Benin Auchi Road.
The other day they said the new minister for works, is it Omai?
Yeah.
Said he went there, he was crying. I pray the cry is not a crocodile tears that was coming out from his eyes, because it happened some years back. Desiani, she was once the minister for works. I remember vividly. She wore boots. You know, 10 years ago, we were experiencing such a thing, this Benin Lagos road. It was that bad. She went there, she wore boots, she was crying. Oh, Nigerians are suffering. But today, who is the richest woman in the whole world? What I'm talking about. These are obligations to the citizens. They cannot be deliberating on road issue anymore. I told somebody that they said, why is it that the Western world, they are now approving gay marriage? I said, look, this gay marriage that is being approved abroad or in America, it is the House, Legislative House, the Senate. They don't have any issues to discuss again.
So they help me disturb. Let's not just go to that area. Let's come to our
the basic
policy of
the basic things they are supposed to give to their citizens. They're giving it to them. Light, road, jobs, everything they've gotten it. So they are not discussing nonsense in their house. Oh, okay. Why is it that divorce is on the increase? Oh, because they are not from the same parents. Is that? I think if they marry themselves, it will cushion, it will reduce the. Oh, it's okay. Pass it to law. Because they have done something meaningful. They've been able to meet up with the basic needs of their citizens. Are you getting
So
it?
in Nigeria, we are having problems because of what?
I don't know. The money is there. When I got to Europe newly, I was looking at a particular road. I said, what is happening to this road? I was not told that this road has the lifespan.
Okay, they were resurfacing.
He said it has a lifespan. I said, but what is wrong with this road? They came with what's it called?
The equipment, yes.
They were removing this one, putting another one. I said, but nothing happened to the other one. He said it has a lifespan. They must remove it.
So they didn't even wait for it to have potholes.
It has a lifespan. So I'm going to remove it and put it. These are obligations. You don't need to cry as a minister because if you cry because they will say you want to work. Do the roads. People pay taxes. Let the citizens enjoy. I told somebody, the likes of Dangote and these big people that are into trailer business, go and ask them very well. It is not that cement Dangote is using to survive. An average, somebody that will go abroad, buy 1 or 2 trailers, oh, let me go and do trailer business. They said every week you can get 200,000. Oh, let me buy a trailer. You buy a trailer, you bring it to Nigeria to go and be carrying fuel for people. By the time that your one trailer capsize on the road, you are gone. Go to Auchi Road. Most trailers they are capsized. But Dangote, a whole trailer load of cement will go down. But statistically, the richest man in Africa is still Dangote. So go and ask him where he's making his money from. So you should not compare yourself from me. So Nigerians, we should be more than that level now to be thinking if you do that, we'll be clapping for you. No. Or if you give us like, we'll be clapping for you. No. These are obligations from the government to its citizens. But they know how to harass people if you don't pay tax. They deduct it from source. Then where is the money going to? This is total bullshit.
We don't allow that kind of word. Yeah.
Sorry. No, I mean, it's so appalling. These are your duties. Imagine you are traveling from Benin to Abuja, you are not sure of making that journey for a whole day. Because when you get to Auchi, you'll be stopped. You see them hanging around as if they are waiting. I don't know, man. Nigeria government should change attitude, I beg you.
Yeah, it's painful. It's very painful. I can see that my guest is becoming very emotional because of the pathetic situation in the country. It's very, very pathetic, really. And from what the lawyers normally tell us it is the duty of government to provide for its citizens, to protect its citizens. If we go to the issue of security, we may not be able to complete the discussion on that today. A lot is really happening in Nigeria, and the federal government is expected to actually tackle insecurity, tackle the myriads of challenges bedeviling the economy, bedeviling the country. Now, minimum wage is another problem. The NSC, TUC threatening to go on strike without informing the government, except government quickly, meets its obligations, meets its agreement that made them to suspend the strike. So a lot of problems. But Andre Aloha, your closing remarks, what will you advise federal government really?
You see, because it is the law house that determines our future, what happens. The federal government, which encompasses the House of Rep and Senate, they should have the willingness to actually be there for Nigerians. Somebody just posted in the social media that they are going to use something trillion to buy SUV vehicles for members of House of Rep. If you are truly a Nigerian, when you were campaigning, can't they sit down and say, okay, let us set the ball rolling. Let us leave a legacy in this ninth Senate or whatever. We won't use vehicles. We are former governors. We are former senators. That money, give it to Nigerians. If you are really somebody that wants this country to go. There's a video that is going around the social media from one country. The president said no. If you want to buy SUV, use your money. The billions or whatever you are going to use in buying this SUV, use it to repair your constituency. I don't know if you've come across that video.
No, I haven't.
An African president, you look at, make sacrifice. Members of the House of Senators, former senators, former governors, they have fleet of cars. Just come out with it, because though it's their right to say they must use official cars, but then make that sacrifice for Nigerians so that they
Why is that Nigerians normally are not known for making that kind of sacrifice?
I don't know. And sorry to say,
yes.
And if you go to their houses, there are some cars that are packed that have not been touched by these senators, serving senators, because they are former governors, former senators, high-ranking people in the society. Must you use this official car? Make that sacrifice. Even if not the general house, you just come out on air. Sorry, my vehicle, use it to do this. And maybe other people will follow suit. Let us make sacrifice.
Thank you very much. That's the program for this week. I know that some of you made attempts to call in, but there was a technical problem. We apologize for that. We'll give you the opportunity subsequently so you can be a part of the program. I hope you enjoyed this week's edition. I'm almost becoming very emotional as well because like one of our guests, we always say that your take-home pay is not enough again. That's the situation of most Nigerians now. Those who are working, who earn salaries, they are complaining. What of those who don't have jobs at all? So that's to tell you that the federal government must, as a matter of urgency, that's the political language in Nigeria, intervene and make not just policy statements, but implement policies that will actually ameliorate the plight of Nigerians. Federal government has promised to introduce gas-powered or gas-propelled vehicles. It should be done as fast as possible. Let's start seeing the buses. Let's start seeing the vehicles. Federal government has promised to bring the kits so that Nigerians can change their petrol-powered engines to gas-powered engines. Let's start seeing the kits. We don't have the time because Nigerians are sitting on the edge, and that's not good for the country. My name remains Egos Agbalao. Thank you very much, Ambassador of Peace, Andre Aloha, for your time and for your contributions. Do have a wonderful weekend ahead.